Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Stevie Evie here, and yesterday I went to locals and I got first place. This is the deck that I ran. It's an infernoid invoked lightsworn. I actually used to run this earlier in the year, back before Goki ran around and Alter guys were in the scene and stuff like that. Did really well for me. I got my invite, so I played at locals yesterday, got first place. And I'll tell you what the matchups are in a little bit later, but we'll start into the deck. This is the monster count. 1 of Trick Clown, 2 of Fairy Tale Snow, 3 of Alistair the Invoker. For the Infernoids, 2 Deviati. He's our Heavy Storm / Monster Negate. 2 Inoku. He's our Dark Hole / Spell and Trap Negate. Atandel, Saitsamas, 1 of each. 1 Sajet. 2 of Harmadic. 3 of Petrulia. Harmadic is our monster popper. This is our spell and trap popper. Each one of these cards has a DD Crow-esque effect, except for this guy. 3 of Decatron. He copies 1 from the deck, and it becomes that monster's name and effect. Pretty good. For the lightsworn part of the deck, we ran 3 of Raiden. I ran 1 Lila for more spell and trap destruction. 1 Wolf, 1 Growth, probably taking that out. That was it for that. And then we also ran, for our hand traps, we ran 3 of Ash Blossoms, we ran 2 Ghost Ogres, and we ran 2 of Effect Veiler. That's it for the monsters. Onto the spells and traps, we ran 1 for 1 to get your Decatron out. 1 card destruction just to make them bait out an Ash. Slash draw. This is so underrated. I didn't realize actually how good this is against most matchups. When they have a full field, you can just mill off like most of your deck, and then reset your graveyard any which way you want to make things to where your opponent has to, try and out whatever board you can play based on your graveyard, because this deck is graveyard based. 2 of Invocation. 2 of Meltdown. I like 2 right now for Meltdown. 3 of Called by the Grave. No pesky hand traps, even though I run them. 3 Imagination. This card is broken. You play against a Thunder Dragon player, they're going to cry because once they see this card, it will out their entire board for the most part, in my personal opinion. 3 of Vanishment. Vanishment searches out a spell or trap by pitching a card, but you can only summon infernoid monsters for the rest of the turn. Most of the time you're not going to need to worry about that, because for the most point, the trap card is what you want. For your lightsworn spells, 3 charge. And then we run 3 of Pot of Desires to try and get draw power going. Traps, they're very short. We run 2 Lost Wind and 2 Void Feast. Void Feast is the card I was talking about. When it comes down to Vanishment, doesn't matter, because once you set this, you're going to get 3 monsters off of 1 card. And if you have a Mechaba on the field, you can negate their Ash to negate the to stop the Feast. The Feast gets you 3 cards, and that's 2 negates guaranteed, pretty much. If you can, usually 1 though. Okay, so onto the extra deck. We ran 1 Omega. This card is really amazing. Really good again with infernoid monsters, because when it comes down to re-adding your graveyard. And when they search for certain cards that would allow them to combo off, you might be able to hit it, you might not, but it gives you something to kind of counterbalance things. 1 Purgatrio, because you're playing Inferno monsters. Plus, you never know what you're going to play against. I don't know of many fire decks. Plus, Prank Kids, I know one of theirs is a fire guy. 3 Mechaba. Just amazing card. So, shoutouts to the guy in round 4 that didn't know that Mechaba negated and it banished, because he attacked with Milliseek and thought that his Milliseek was in the graveyard. I think that kind of made him a little... He wasn't salty, but he didn't realize that, and I kind of think messed him up. 3 Natis. You send this with the guy who's next, which is Tiara. Tiara's effect, this is the fusion monster that you get off of Imagination. Depending on the number of materials you use for this card, the fusion related ones, you would normally send 6. So for 2, you get to, or 3 or more, you get to send 3 cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. So you're going to send these 3 guys, and they when they're sent by a card effect, or when they're sent from the fusion area to the graveyard, when they're sent to the graveyard, you get to destroy a card. So 3 destructions, it's really good. And then the second effect is you get to mill 3 out the top of your deck. So it's really good. 3400 beat stick, really nice card. 1 Minerva, get you more mills. Plus, it outed a what did it out today? It outed an Inspector border. I doubled off into the Inspector border, and he wasn't that happy because apparently he had evenly matched, and I outed the evenly matched at one point. Utopia package, it's a really good card, or really good cards. You know, get them. I actually wanted to add 1 more into this, so that way you can out at least 2 monsters that you can't kill. 1 Doolittle Chimera for your infernoid monsters, just to make them big and beefy and OTK. 1 Unicorn to save my ass against Thunder Dragons. Yeah, Thunder Dragons. Colossus was sitting there. I'm like, I can't get rid of that. Made this guy, outed it, and pushed for a lot of damage. And then 1 Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. Just, you know, a really good card in my opinion. Good to the point where it's, you know, it does a lot of stuff when you even summon your infernoid monster. So onto the side deck. This is the stuff I cited. Sorry, I'm spacing out. It's just I'm not all fully awake yet. So we ran 1 ogre for the we ran the 3rd ogre for the for one of our choices. 2 Eater of Millions. I want to put that up to 3. 3 Twin Twisters, really good. Good to disrupt your opponent. Plus, if you're playing against Altergeist, which I did. I don't know, I did okay, it wasn't great. I don't think I actually saw it. 3 Droll Knockbirds. Don't think I saw them actually today. This was for Rongo. Never saw Rongo. I expect to see it if I go to the regionals and I play this deck. So we ran 3 of XYZ Encore. If you don't know what it does, Rongo is unstoppable, and this makes it stoppable. And then last but not least, 3 Red Reboot for the Altergeist / Paleo players. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching this. It means a lot to me. This is actually one of my personal creations that I really enjoy, and it did really well. Hopefully it does well enough to where it can net me an invite. I'm not doing I'm not doing that well with Gem Knights right now, so this is one of the decks I'm hoping for, maybe at least, you know, my invite or whatever. But we'll see. So our next update more than likely will be just after January. So I'll see you guys in the next year. If I don't do a pack opening, it's because I'm kind of broke right now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.